Hello everybody, George from Beaumont Guitars.
And I'm Nick. What's up, folks? Today we are doing the Benson Preamp. Coolest thing I've played so far, absolutely hands down. Based off the Benson Chimera amp. However, this is more affordable and more attainable. So basically what it is, it's a pedal, obviously. You step on it, you turn the knobs, it makes some sound. However, it also is supposed to be the preamp section of the Chimera 30 watt.
So you
correct?
You could throw that flavor over anything now.
Yeah, and what the internals, you see, I remember we were talking about this.
FET circuit.
Yeah, so instead of valves or tubes, you're getting the FET chip, which is creating your distortion, or your overdrive, sorry. So that's not all the internals, but basically what you gotta know. You got 4 knobs, you got a thing where you step on it and make the noise, and you're good to go. So today, before we dive in, we're gonna go over what we're using, give you a sound of the basics, and then we'll start talking about other stuff. Strat, Seymour Duncan Antiquity Humbucker, Fat 50s, middle and neck single coil. George, what guitar are you using today?
I'm using the Fishman Equipped Horizon, Tosin Abasi set. Pretty much everything you're going to be hearing later is mostly going to be in that split coil tone. It sounds really, really good.
And George is going to tell you about this amp.
So we're basically going through a Fillmore 25. This is an EL84 powered amp. Basically, we have it set up like this. It's 2 blank channels that you could do whatever you want with. To the left, what you're seeing is the clean channel. If you notice, the EQ is pretty much 12 o'clock on everything. To the right is our dirty channel. We have it in drive. We don't really play it in high because drive just seems to get the job done, and it retains a lot of the clarity as well. So that's how we have it set up, and you're going to hear a little bit on the clean channel, and then at some point we will be on the dirty.
All right, so just right off the bat, we'll give you a little sample of the Strat with the Mesa, no pedal. So this is the bridge. Little pushed.
A little bit.
Nothing too major. I'm going to be on the neck a lot today, so I'll show you the neck as well.
Very chimey.
Yes. So we're going to start just with everything on the Benson at 12 o'clock except for the volume. The volume is a little under 9 o'clock just because that's where we found the levels matched with our amp sound and the pedal sound. So here is everything at 12 o'clock except for the volume and the bridge. So right off the bat, what do you see? What do you hear?
Nice light breakup, but it's articulate still. You can hear you hitting every single string as you're going all the way through.
Yeah.
Sounds very good.
I think for me as well, I notice like an immediate low end cut. There's a lot less low end when you bring this pedal in.
Oh yeah.
Obviously, you can change that, right?
You can add it back if you'd like.
Yeah, you have the knobs there for a reason. This is just everything at 12 o'clock, right? I don't know about you. For me, any amp I get, any pedal I get, the first thing I do, everything 12 o'clock.
Absolutely. Because if it doesn't sound good there, you're like, where do you really go from that?
And it's right in the middle. It's not too much of this, not too little of that. You can still tamper with it. You can still play around. So let's play around a little bit first, and then I'm going to show you something that came in the manual. In my experience, my personal taste is I like everything at 12 o'clock except for the volume and then the drive. I actually turn the drive up to about 4 o'clock, so a little over 3 o'clock, and I get this really nice, warm, very stratty tone that you'll immediately recognize, right? So you get this nice. So it's nice, round, warm, definitely vibes of that, like, SRV,
Absolutely, yeah.
that Jimmy thing, that John Mayer thing. If you want to get a little crazier, right, just turn the drive up a little bit more and you get even more breakup and it gets dirtier, but still has nice clear tone. Right, and that's on the neck still. Right, so if we bring it to the bridge, a little bit hotter. Nothing crazy though. Nice harmonics. The overtones are there.
Absolutely.
Very, very diverse, right? You can do a lot of different stuff with this, which is what I like. You can get that bluesy light thing, you can get that slightly overdriven crunch, or as we just saw, right, you can get some classic rock, some aggressive rock tones. I wouldn't say metal per se, but like you're getting there. You're knocking on that door.
Another thing we should mention too is we always have the debate, and I know you do not like the TS style pedal. So which is nice because the difference is this does not compress the sound like a TS you normally would.
It's very wide.
Yeah. And
now another discussion we have with Mesa amps is I think there's a little bit of compression in the Mesa amp itself. The Fillmore is definitely less aggressive with the compression because it's supposed to mimic like your old school amps, your F-style amps. So the combination of the little bit of compression with the Fillmore and the wide openness with the Benson, I think really plays well.
They complement each other.
Really well. It's super nice. So just, before we get too into this, I want to show you something. So the Benson preamp actually comes with this user manual, right?
Suggested settings, right? We always ignore this, but if you just take the time, we do, right? Everybody just folds it up, throws it away. But definitely, trying some of those out is a great base point to start your tone searching,
So what's interesting here, it's got your usual, congrats on purchasing the Benson preamp. You're the coolest kid in the world. It also has, power requirements, nothing special. It's 9-volt DC or a battery. Controls, gain, bass, treble, master. Here's interesting, right? This is the interesting thing. Presets to the right, so these presets here, were all developed with a telly in the middle position into a twin reverb set to clean with neutral EQ and some artistic license. So they tell you right off the bat, these samples of basic dirt, clean boost, Angus drive, comfortably fuzz, right? All of those are with a telly, twin reverb, neutral EQ. We get very, very close.
Oh yeah, we
with this Fillmore, everything 12 o'clock. So let's just run through some fun stuff here. They're basic dirt. We have treble at like 10 o'clock. Bass is straight up the middle. Drive is right around 10 o'clock as well. And then they say the volume, you want to crank it a little bit, but I think just for our sound levels, we won't do that. We'll just keep the volume at the regular setting.
Just basic drive, it says?
This says basic dirt.
Oh, dirt, okay.
Basic dirt. So here is, I moved that. Here is basic clean through the amp. Here's a little dirt. Maybe we should up the volume a little bit. So this is where it wants you to put it.
Way big difference the way it just opens up.
Yeah, not too different. Just it's a little hairier.
Yeah,
right.
A little bit more.
Cool thing here, you can also do a clean boost, right? You can do. They have Booker tone, Angus. Let's do. We have to do the Angus drive.
Of course,
we have to. Right. So let's try the Angus drive. You're cranking the treble.
Oh, really?
Not surprising.
Yeah. That
you are cutting the bass dramatically, right? You are basically on like 1 with the bass.
So you get a lot of top end.
Volume is right where it says, and then drive is right up the middle. Here we go. So this is clean. This is gonna make me turn into Angus Young. So everybody get ready. Okay.
Sounds great. It's got like a fast attack too.
Yes, definitely the treble's there, the mids are there, the bass is not there because we turned them all the way down. Drive is, you know, it's you add it by taste, right? Here's the big thing. They give you presets. Those are not like the rules you have to follow, right?
Just
those
examples.
are starting points. So if the room you're in, big, small, house, whatever, office, venue, if it's just not cutting it, you can adjust the treble, you can adjust the bass.
Absolutely, it's a taste, yeah.
Yeah. The big thing here is it's complex enough to give you a bunch of different tones, but it is easy enough where you don't feel like you're lost.
Exactly. There's not like hidden dip switches and like
Yeah.
side controls and all this weird stuff. You just kind of set it and go. And within the realm of like these 4 knobs, you know, it's getting your sound will be a lot easier, you know, than having 20,000 things to constantly adjust.
Yeah. You know, because at the end of the day, I mean, I don't play gigs. I don't go out. You know, I'm just the guy in his house in a smaller room with an amp and a guitar, and I want to have some fun with these pedals. This is, to be honest, this thing is blowing my mind, right? This is something that Strat players, like this is going to be that Strat tone that you've been looking for forever. It's your Strat tone in a box, done. Humbucker players, which we'll see a little bit now and definitely with George later,
Oh, yeah.
right? This is just as amazing with
Just as fun.
humbuckers.
Absolutely.
You can't go wrong. I've plugged Les Paul into this, and it sounds fantastic. I mean, there's a ton of things more to say about this pedal, but the easiest thing to say is try it.
Absolutely. You got to get your hands on it. You got to see how it responds with the way you play.
Yeah, you know, try it. If you don't like it, there's something wrong with you. You got to go to the doctor.
Get your head checked. now.
Yeah, because you're out of your mind. So let's, you know, we'll just go back to kind of the nice sound here that we had set up before. And, you know, it's extremely dynamic too, right? We've talked about this.
Play with your fingers.
I'm going to play with my fingers now. And you'll see when you lay off, it sounds totally different. When you really dig into it, it blooms totally differently. So here is some finger playing. Finger playing. Right, nice, not too aggressive, doesn't break up as much.
Smooths out. you
Very,
know.
very smooth. Right, oh, and that was the bridge. So here's the neck, right? Now, let's go to a pick and let's dig in, right? So you got.
Completely different.
It's a different beast.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, just listening to the two, you know, it's almost like you went onto a different channel on the amp or something. you
Yeah,
know?
yeah, and you know that was all done with your hands, right? I didn't change anything on the pedal. Everything's the same. Also dynamically with the volume knob, you know, also responds very well too. So, you know, this is full volume.
That's a great sound.
Yeah.
That's the best way to describe that, you know?
I think, you know, the best way to say this is you just spent, what is this, $250 at the time we're recording this?
Yep, be $249.
So it's $240. You spent $250 on a brand new amp
Yep, in a box.
that goes on your pedal board.
Yep, that you're gonna stack probably everything over, whether it's your cleans or your dirties.
Yeah. I mean, you can't go wrong here.
Yeah.
Not only is it a cool pedal, but like, yeah, you have this Mesa Fillmore 25, maybe the style of music you're playing, or maybe you're just like bored with your amp tone.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Add a third channel, basically, is what that is.
There
or
you go.
second channel to
There
your
you go.
one-channel amp.
Yeah. I think that's an even better way to say it, right? Adding a channel to your amp.
Yep.
A whole new different vibe. I mean, it doesn't, yes, it sounds like the Fillmore, but it does not.
No, yeah, it's definitely different. The way it clips, the way it responds, it's definitely different.
You know, for $250 for something like this is a mainstay on a pedal board. This is something you can just have fun with at home. Mess around with, get your tone, do whatever, stack stuff on top of it. It's a great piece. You can't go wrong.
Try to get your hands on one. Try it out first. I definitely recommend if you just put in some time, like you did. You'll fall in love with it.
Oh my God, you don't even want to know. Because so we come in early and we check out the pedals and we say, oh, what makes this noise? What makes this sound? That that process took me about 3 hours because I found this sound and I fell in love. I'm definitely getting one. 100%. This is going to be on my pedal board. You're going to see it again, probably by accident. But I'm getting one. You should get one. And I think now is a really good opportunity. Maybe we'll switch over. George will put in his guitar. We'll see what this thing does with some active style pickups. All right, those are active, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, yeah. So give us a second. We'll be right back. All right, and we are back. Obviously, I am no longer holding a guitar. George is holding a guitar, and it is plugged in. So we're going to show you what this thing can do as like a stacked overdrive distortion kind of thing. Again, first we're going to show you basic amp tone, and then we're going to go into what this pedal will do to that. So George, give us a little something with what the amp sounds like. So not too much distortion.
Yeah, we're about halfway on that on the amp.
Still very clear. The clarity is there. You got a little bit of drive, nothing too crazy. Before rolling, I found a setting that we both kind of liked on here, so we'll start with that and then we'll tailor it as we go. So just to let everyone at home know, we have the treble, 12 o'clock. We have your bass at about 2 o'clock. Volume is straight up, 12 o'clock, and drive is dimed. We got it all the way up. So I'm gonna click in and out while George is playing. You will hear the difference. And once we've kind of gone over that, we'll mix it up. So here we go. George, whenever you're ready. That did a lot.
A lot of gain. It's a lot of gain stacked.
Yeah. So, I mean, you're not getting like black metal gain, but you're getting enough distortion to do whatever you want to do with it.
Absolutely. Anything from Nickelback, I'm going to say it, to possibly death metal. Absolutely.
Yeah. Just some real nice Nickelback, They just want you to look at this photograph.
I love Nickelback. I don't know why they get to hate.
So here's,
anyway.
I know we're going on a tangent. Nickelback, they're genius.
Yeah, I mean, you can't hate them for coming up with the formula.
They did it.
And repeating it. You can't hate them.
And every song sounds the same. I get it. But you love every song.
Exactly. You're like, that's familiar. No, I haven't heard it, but it's awesome.
I think I know this song. I think this was every song on every album they made. It was.
Oh, that Spider-Man soundtrack, though, was awesome, too.
Dude, who was that guy? Was that Saliva?
The front.
What was his name?
Josie Scott.
Yeah.
Or correct me if I'm wrong.
They say that a hero can save us.
Oh, I love that. I'm gonna listen to that on the way home today. Comment on the bottom of this
Yes.
what your favorite song off the Spider-Man soundtrack is.
Favorite song off the Spider-Man soundtrack?
Yeah.
Now you have to look up the Spider-Man soundtrack.
Oh, because definitely will be Hero for me.
Here we go. Okay, so let's get back. This pedal, okay, so it was doing a lot of stuff there. Number one, definitely tightened up the low end,
Yeah.
increased your gain structure. The harmonics were definitely improved, in my opinion.
Much easier. Like when you go to hit that like false harmonic or pinched harmonic, definitely it's a lot easier with the pedal stacked compared to having it off. You know?
Yeah. Okay, so yes, we're here to tell you about all the awesome things about this pedal. However, we're also not here to lie to you. This pedal, when we increased the gain on the amp and we put the pedal in, it did nothing.
Yeah, it didn't affect. It wasn't as effective like the EQ on when you're stacking it on a whole bunch of gain coming from the primary source. You know?
It didn't do much. It didn't increase the gain. Yes, you can mess with the treble and bass to affect your sound, but other than that, that's really all it did.
Yeah.
So if you wanted it more as like a color enhancement for your tone, right, you could do that. Increasing the bass, treble, kind of shifting it there.
Let's say you have a telly that's like thin sounding or whatever, and you just bump the bass on that whenever you use that guitar, and then it'll make up for the difference.
Yeah. I mean, I think at that point, there's other options. But yes, this will do that for sure. However, as we've mentioned, once you back off the gain on the amp and then let this thing do its job.
Yeah, it comes to life.
It changes everything about your whole chain, right? Increases the gain, changes the treble, changes the bass, changes the volume. So if you're doing the gain thing, it's definitely going to be more of that, like it's a pedal. You know what I mean? It's a tone thing, but if you are using it on the clean channel, it's an amp.
Yeah.
It's a different channel.
You're getting all your flavor from it.
Yeah. So there's, many different ways you can use this pedal. It's the best.
You got to get your hands on one.
And where can you get your hands on them?
BeauMondeGuitars.com. Come on down to the shop, play one of these. You could literally play it through this same setup right here. So come on down and check one out. And please like, subscribe, leave comments below. Tell us what you like, didn't like about it. Will you be buying one? Let us know.
Yeah. Also, don't forget, what's your favorite song off the Spider-Man soundtrack?
Yes.
If you don't answer that, there's something wrong with you. And we'll sterilize this before you come down and play it.
Absolutely.
After my dirty fingers have been all over it.
Thank you for watching.
Bye, guys.